do that. Okay, we're recording. It's May 25th, 2018, I think. And we're here with Grandma,
That sounds right.
Mom, Lucille Lacine. We're just doing some more interview questions. So I have this question. Ask Grandma about gum. Ask her about gum. When your mom came.
Oh, yeah, when my mother first came to this country, and she was on a train going to where her parents lived, and she saw somebody chewing gum, and she was trying to figure it out, and she thought she knew that there were one thing she was told about, that there were some people that were black people in our country, but she thought this guy kept chewing and not swallowing anything. So she thought maybe there's people that have two stomachs like a cow and where they, chew their cud, whatever. So she didn't find out till later that there was such a thing as chewing gum, and that's what she had seen.
Can you tell us your memories of your grandma?
My grandma, well, I don't know what to tell. She liked flowers. I mean, she enjoyed her yard, she had many flowers there, and when we would go to visit her, a lot of times she'd pick a bouquet of flowers for us to take home. And she always had some kind of treats for us, some certain candies or something that she would give us. She was a very sweet, loving grandma to me. And, I felt loved by her. That's all I could tell you on that.
Okay, so your grandma came to the U.S. before your mom did.
Oh, yes. My mother's parents, well, first her father came to this country. Then when he was established, he sent for the family, and my grandmother was going to come with the children. And Uncle Stanley had some kind of, I don't know, he had a scar on his neck from some kind of surgery or something that he had. And so it was like she was worried that maybe he wouldn't get past to, okay to be able to come to this country. And so I think in fact, they put like a chalk mark on his coat that he was rejected, but my grandmother just bit on her handkerchief and rubbed that off and took him under the line. She didn't want to leave him behind. So anyway, she put him on the acceptable side. And so she was going to come with the 3 boys and my mother, but my mother, who was the youngest, had a rash all over her body, and so that she didn't pass to be okayed for, coming to this country. So she had to be left behind. and she was left behind to be taken care of by her grandparents at that time. And so it wasn't until she was, and at that time, I don't know how old she was, but it was maybe, I don't know, I would guess maybe 4 years old or something like that. And it wasn't until she was 16 or 17 then that she finally was able to come to this country.
What about your grandfather? Do you remember your grandfather?
I never knew my grandfather. He died, I think, before I was born. And it was a sudden death. So I didn't know any. The only grandparent that I knew was my grandmother, that was my mother's mother when I was growing up. But I didn't know any other grandparents.
So how did tell us about your brothers and sisters and how you got along with them?
Well, my brother was 2 years younger than I. My sister was 3 years younger than I. And I think we got along pretty good. I don't remember anything in particular, but you know, we enjoyed our childhood and played with each other, and spent a lot of time on the beach, at Lake Michigan, and visiting museums, and playing and having picnics at Grant Park. So a lot of times it was with our cousins. So, which were we had 3 girl cousins that were the daughters of my mother's oldest brother, John. And so we grew up in Grant Park.